Adam Crawford, Professor of Criminology and Criminal Justice in the Centre for Criminal Justice Studies at the University of Leeds. Over a number of years I've been studying particularly policing partnerships, the way in which policing is increasingly the product of the work of a number of different organisations. So not just the police, that the police through partnerships with other organisations, be they local authorities, be they health service, be they probation, be they social services, that much of what the police do requires them to work in partnership with other organisations. Partly because crime problems are by their very nature complex problems which require other organisations to assist and to be engaged in the solutions. For too long we assumed that the police could solve problems through a reactive mode of responding to those problems after the event. We now, in terms of our new thinking, have focused more on early interventions, more on trying to solve the causes of crime problems before they manifest themselves, rather than waiting until they happen and then sending the police to rush to try and pick up the pieces after the event. The N8 Policing Research Partnership, which I direct and is run from and led from the University of Leeds, but involves our other N8 partners, which are the other major research-intensive universities across the north of England. We recognised that there was an opportunity, a very significant opportunity, for us collectively to do something significant in the field of policing. So what we did, and largely really over the last year or so, is to develop a partnership, a relationship between the N8 universities and 11 police forces across the north of England. They are really excited by the ideas of what we can try and do in this collaboration, in trying to change police culture about the role, value and utility of research in informing policing in a way that really will change, transform and challenge some of the cultural assumptions. One of the key activity strands of the N8 Policing Research Partnership is around data analytics. The basic premise there is the idea that the police organisation, like many public sector organisations, is a data-rich organisation, and that what we're wanting to do is actually say that this data offers some really interesting and exciting opportunities for research, for us to think about policing and the way in which research can inform policing strategies so that they are responsive to public concerns and demands, but also in ways that adds value to the data that is increasingly being collected by our policing partners. One of my kind of catchphrases in terms of this is about creative disruption. What I'd like us to do is actually to disrupt the way academics work and the way the police and policing organisations work. Not in a destructive way, but in a creative way that actually makes us think innovatively and challenge what we often take for granted, which is that academics are very often understood as you give them a problem, they go away for 2 years and they ponder on it and they come back. So there's a time scale issue. In our work with our police, we need to be a lot more nimble in terms of actually thinking about the way in which we report back, the way in which we also make what we have to say more accessible. But also I think it's about transforming the way in which those who use, who value research, have a different approach to thinking about the way research can inform what it is they're doing. The social problems that confront us out there in the streets, in our cities and in our homes don't sit in disciplines. They don't hide in disciplinary box. They are problems because they are problems. The Centre for Criminal Justice Studies is by its very nature a cross-disciplinary group. We are a group with historians, psychologists, lawyers, sociologists, criminologists, all come together within that grouping. So that idea of ensuring that we enhance cross-disciplinary understandings in the interests of research in crime and policing is very much at the heart of what the Centre for Criminal Justice Studies does and excels at, and I would say is almost unique in terms of its cross-disciplinary strengths within the UK and maybe internationally.